It has been a wonderful weekend of Valorant, but all good things must come to an end. Let's get on into the grand finals. It's Big Baller Brand versus Obey Alliance, who did manage to take away their semifinal in a 2-0 off stream. We say goodbye to Team Ancients. We say goodbye to... Oh my word, we just saw them play. Why did I forget? DNA Diff! I'm so excited for this next match, Triad. I couldn't get my ducks in a row, but now we move into the grand finals. It's a best of 3, folks. Once again, it's myself, Possible, and Triad bringing you all the action.
I was saying that both of the teams that we saw, both of them already playing so well, and also both of the teams we happen to already see on stream. So once again, it comes to a matter of the expectations. A lot of mistakes that at the end of the day did happen for them. Both of the matches were very, very close. So just cleaning up those mistakes, making that communication, the synergy work a little bit better to get that momentum going. This is the grand finals. This is the last chance, but at least they have two maps to go with.
Well, we have two very, very scary teams to finish this off, right? I mean, it's Big Baller Brand, who we've been seeing a lot of in the past 2 matches, right? We've gotten to see them 4 maps in a row. And then also Obey Alliance, who we saw in the very first round here on stream, round 3 technically of play, beat Foxy on Ascent. Big Baller Brand, they've won Ascent twice. Guess where we're starting, Dryad? I'll give you one guess.
It could be Ascend.
Yeah, there you go. And fun fact, our second map is going to be Icebox, because both these teams just won Icebox in their semifinals maps. So both feeling confident, feeling ready, just going to run it straight back on the same maps. If we can manage to have it tied up after those 2, we'll head on to Split. But first things first, it's Ascent and Icebox. And I'm not sure I could tell you who's going to walk away with Ascent, because both these squads have looked very scary there.
Yeah, I think it's a matter on how they're going to start playing. Both of the teams, we talked about it. They're really good. We saw a lot of amazing things from them. From this sort of Big Baller Brand, we've seen them a little bit more on stream, just like we saw the semifinals happening for them. But yeah, even on Ascent, they were making a lot of mistakes. They were able to start the rounds very, very well. They were able to start those first halves as well very strong. But then it was a matter of keeping that momentum going. They were gaining it, they lost it, then they're able to gain it again. They want to keep it a little bit more consistent, and it is going to be the same case for Obey Alliance. A strong start, and also completely hitting the confidence that Big Baller Brand has is kind of the best thing that you can do here at this grand finals.
And I always zone in on Jet 1v1s, because I really like watching Jets fight each other. Super Monkey, we didn't get to see as much of him this weekend as we got to see of Sugar Free, obviously. But when we did, Super Monkey was a menace against Foxy. So I'm excited to see how those Jets go head-to-head. Sugar Free, I mean, we've been seeing tons of him over the last few maps. He loves to fight the enemy Jet and is often supported very well by his team to win that, be the tip of the spear for entries, whether it's an aggressive defensive play or it's just a straight up execute onto the site, right? So I am excited to see how these 2 Jets stack up against each other.
And even though it's Send, it gets a little bit harder even to use the operators and attack. When it comes to Icebox, that is the map that I'm most curious to see with this Jets and with the other duelist. On that last match, we saw Reyna, we also saw a Raze, and a really good plays coming through because of that, with that utility that you're able to have with those agents. But Icebox looks very, very promising, and with the possibility to have us look through 3 maps for this grand finals.
I'm excited. I hope we get 3 maps. We haven't gotten 3 maps of either of the games on stream. A couple of the quarterfinals off stream yesterday managed to go all the way to 3. Obey ended up going to 3 against who was their quarterfinal opponent? I think it was Team Synergy. No, actually it was against 303 Esports. They beat 303 Esports, which is an impressive feat in and of itself. So I am just super stoked. I'm super stoked. This is going to be a great grand finals. And don't forget, folks, this grand finals is brought to you in part by Explore Edmonton. Over 1 million plus Edmontonians make the Alberta's capital their home. They're entrepreneurs, experts and hosts. I can't. Why is English so hard, Dryad? And they're going to turn your opportunities into a reality. They're famous for festivals, lively arts and music scenes, and the sprawling, picturesque river valley. We offer so much more than just places for your delegates to eat, sleep, and be entertained. So go find out more at exploreedmonton.com. I'm sure it'll actually be, proper English on exploreedmonton.com, unlike when I try and, speak out of my mouth. Let's get on to Ascent. Let's get into the game. Grand Finals. We got a KO hitting the field.
Oh, and we talked about it the first day. We talked about it yesterday, that Kaon and that possibility to see this KO being played. It didn't really seem like it was likely, but then now for the grand finals, this is when teams like to bring a couple of those surprises, and for this time around, it's going to be Obey Alliance bringing this agent in.
And KO versus Sky, actually the only differences in our compositions between Big Baller Brand and Obey Alliance. We did see KO from Obey. Soba was rocking it the first day around. Didn't seem to be the most standout pick. It was hard to pin down how much value Soba was actually getting out of that agent. Whereas Instinct, on the other hand, we know for a fact this dude's been crushing it. So definitely keeping my eyes there as we get on into it. Pistol round, Obey Alliance on the attack. And they're actually playing pretty well disciplined for this first round. Not just hard sending it onto a site. They recognize the threats potentially lying in wait for them. They're just going to slow and steady win the race. Super Monkey's got to be careful, though. Ooh. Oh, she's going to get out of there. Doesn't want to risk it. Knows that there's more than one player charging toward him. Dash across. Nice shot from Welshie. Sugar Free's going to trade 1-for-1 on the site, too. Not a bad start here for Big Baller Brand, but the spike will get planted by Obey.
Well, once again, for this retake, already.
Oh, Ezire going to clear out this player in mid, but Swarms with the frenzy puts him down. Dujay, oh, that's so aggressive. And there's hardly anything Big Baller Brand can do there. Ren's doing his best. Swarms is pretty low. That turret doesn't give much usable information over to Swarms either. The tap at almost the exact wrong time. All Swarms has to do is swing out now, but the frenzy just has to spray. And 22 health to his name as he walks away with a pistol.
Just the timing didn't seem right for that Sova, but a really good start already for the aggression of Obey Alliance. I like seeing it. I like what they want to bring to the table. They went in, they were forcing that retake happening for the side of Big Baller Brand, and even if they were able to get a couple kills, it really wasn't enough. It's going to be good for the economy, and Obey, they are also getting the Vandal.
Obey Alliance not afraid to invest in this second round. They want to just roll through Big Baller Brand's defense. As expected from Big Baller Brand, they are set up currently to play aggressive out in mid. Super Monkey is here.
Blocking sight.
But it never actually comes. No push from Big Baller Brand. They were just waiting to get information and then trying to strike. But without any noise made in mid, they're just hanging around. They'll hear a couple players stomping around in A main. But it seems like it was just for the orb. Obey, they're not going to commit. Ooh. 0 point deep into mid, but it's actually too deep. There are players close there. But now the timing doesn't quite work out. Big Baller Brand, they finally got some information mid, but they just weren't able to pin it down. Now Obey, they're saying, all right, well, we're done with this playing slow business. We have the guns. Let's just roll on to A. There's not much Big Baller Brand can do to stop them.
30 seconds left.
So yeah, it gets really difficult there for the sort of Big Baller Brand to make anything happen. Any corner is going to get punished by Obey Alliance, who seem to have been able to keep that Vandal going on. And also bettering their economy even more. It's already 2 rounds for them, still trying to keep it going. Big Baller Brand, this is a time where they usually react. It takes them 2, maybe 3 rounds, and then they figure out the enemy. So might be able to do this thing again, but it's going to be difficult. They're able to buy finally, so that already gives them the bigger advantage.
Big Baller Brand, they need to make use of these guns, though. And it's actually an interesting defensive swap up a little bit from Big Baller Brand. We've seen them trying to make a lot of these traps, using the Astra alongside the Killjoy, Izai and Welshi teaming up. But instead, they're splitting those two up now, playing across the map, because they realize how slowly Obey has been playing. They're not going for these hard executes. So it's better to get some early information and stave off Obey Alliance. It might cost them, though. Obey are set up to go pretty hard and heavy onto this B site. Gravity Wells, Nano Swarms, keeping them at bay, though. Swarms does get caught in the edge of that grab well, but ultimately Instinct's not getting much out of it. It's just a bloodbath between Defender Spawn and B main right now, but Sugar Freeze crept on out over to the switch and will pin down Soba. Super Monkey only 12 health to his name and 3 players to try and defeat. Dashes on out of the stars, doesn't want anything to do with that. And now is the whole map to play with, but not much info and not much health to actually make anything happen.
Yeah, it's very difficult to make anything happen for Super Monkey. And Big Baller Brand, yeah, this time around being able to respawn better with those guns and able to keep a couple of those. Bay Alliance not with the best economy this time around, going for a Nico, getting a couple of the shares as well. It seems like these 4 black moves. And Obey Alliance, they like to play it slow, but I wonder if this is going to keep going. Like I saw Big Baller Brand, they're really good at predicting, they're really good at analyzing the enemy, and so Obey Alliance, they need to constantly keep changing the playstyle.
Ooh, nice pickup there from Swarms. All the way across onto Sugar Free, too. Instinct going over, wants to recover the gun. Oh, stealing the Spectre away, too. You can't get into cover. You're not allowed to even a Spectre. No weapons for you. Not allowed. Okay, they're still going to try and inch their way toward A. They've used a couple Astra Stars to sell like it is going to A here. It seems like they're just waiting for Big Baller Brand to pull off one of their classic aggressive moves. Big Baller Brand not biting right now. That 0 point doesn't get any information. Obey, they're low on guns. Even though they got that opening pick, they're still not really favored in this round. And so you gotta be careful walking on out into more than one. Nice gravity well to cover, though. But Izai are actually swinging out. Super Monkey takes his head off. 3v4, Instinct. Flash to keep himself alive, make sure no one's pushing him. Spotted the spike too, so he's just gonna fall back and wait. Ren's only with 17 health, but manages to take down Swarms. Things still looking very difficult for Obey. Good check here from Soba. Knew that Instinct would be waiting. And they know that Ren's is on the site. Recon dart, sure, but he's only got 17 health. He can't swing out here, not reliably. Black Moose just walking toward it, but the right click! The right clicks! Are you kidding me, Renz? Are you kidding me?
Every time they make it worth it, Silva was so low. Ren's just in time getting those kills, making it 4, and Big Baller Brand now maintaining it, now tying it 2-2 and able to keep that momentum going. Yeah, I said it, they're catching up. They know how Obey Alliance like to play. They like to play very slow, then go a little bit more aggressive. Okay, if they like this, then we know exactly what to do, how to counter it, and play very patiently as well towards the end. With good positioning, just not wanting to peek any corners, managing to stay alive even with low HP, and that is exactly enough for Big Baller Brand to stay ahead.
Renz has been having an insane day. Yeah. Oh, that information. I mean, he doesn't know exactly where they are because the recon dart didn't get to ping, but he knows there's at least one waiting, and Swarms will be the first to fall. Beautiful Hunter's Fury. An alley-oop of his own making, Renz. And a critical round, too, for Obey. They've got 3 ults to work with. Guns, finally. They need this round if they don't want to let this half get away from them.
And already losing one member for a Bay Alliance is just not looking good. The Killjoy, I like using the Hunter's very early on for that reason. Guaranteeing any sort of information and also ideally getting a pick already gives a sense of confidence for the team, for Big Baller Brand this time around.
Look at the Seekers. They're going to pin down 3 players waiting over toward B. We're down to 40 seconds already, and look how little map control Obey have actually been able to get. They have no information.
Recovering it.
In the,
30 seconds left.
in the waning hours of this round, they're desperately going to try and go toward B. Cosmic Divide invested to get them across. Renz ain't letting them go for free, though. Waiting for the right timing. Swinging on out. The Nano Swarm sets him up pretty well. He'll at least put Soba on the ground. Somebody's going to have to recover that, and a Guiding Light's going to make it impossible.
10 seconds left.
He does have a lot of health while he's waiting down there. Ujay swinging on out will at least claim Ezire 1-for-1, but Super Monkey only 10 health. I doubt he clutches like Renz did on that low of HP. And Big Baller Brand, 3 in a row now for them.
There it is. Any sort of information going for this sort of Big Baller Brand is something that they are going to capitalize on. Even with those ultimates invested, the Cosmic Divide, it seems like they came in just in time trying to make something happen. But then again, it just gets harder for Bay Alliance. It seems like it was a little too late at the same time. Like they wanted to use it early. It was just a desperate movement as well for Bay Alliance to try to stay ahead and get that positioning to work a little bit better. Big Baller Brand, they do have Sugar Freeze ultimate to use at any point. Might not be this one, but if they want to keep the lead going, this is an ultimate that you can count on.
Yeah, Big Baller Brand have used the Blade Storm more as an economic buffer than anything else. So with a rifle in Sugar Free's hands, I think Big Baller Brand, they're feeling fine right now. Ooh, maybe not. Sugar Free's gonna have his head lopped off by the enemy Blade Storm. That's a beautiful flash. Only sets him up for 1, but Instinct swinging back out. A second flash to his name. Hopping around Black Moose, he says, you know what? Fine, I'll take out your buddy. And a Shock Dart will eventually claim Instinct. We're down to a 2v2 as Super Monkey's cleared out most of the site himself. Not much info. And Obey couldn't get onto the site, but they have plenty of time to work with here.
Just looked like a nightmare too, with this 2 flashes coming in from the sky, not able to hide, not able to do anything. That's when you see how strong this agent really is.
Once again, it seems like Obey are hoping someone will push them. Ezire lying in wait out in mid.
One enemy remaining.
Monkey takes his hat off. Beautiful shot there.
No charges left.
And now they're confident that they can
30
just
seconds
waltz
left.
over to B. They would have spotted Welshie earlier. Ooh, and now they've definitely heard him. Should be expecting him to come from defender spawn here. Super Monkey's looking the right direction. Landing a couple knives, and it's enough to set Black Moose up. Obey tying it up at 3-3.
Grand finals, and they're already looking like they're going to be close from beginning to end. Big Baller Brand getting an understanding, then losing a little bit. Seems like it's going to be a timeout. Not sure from what team, just to discuss. Both of them really fighting to stay ahead. Both of them trying to get to 6 to 7 of those rounds as soon as possible. But they are really good at catching on to what the other is doing, and that's when things get more difficult. Also, look at Renz, 11 kills already, getting ahead and allowing Big Baller Brand to get more support. It also came from those 4 kills that we saw at one point.
It's crazy. He's just crazy. I think I don't believe we have confirmation. Oh, actually, this is we do. This is actually Obey's tactical timeout, which is surprising. I would have thought it would be Big Baller Brand since they were looking a little bit hurt on cash, but they're actually going to buy up enough, and there's that economic buffer coming through for Sugar Free, so he's going to have the Blade Storm, and it's going to work out just fine. Obey using their attack pause early to analyze the defensive habits of Big Baller Brand. I'm not sure what they can actually find that's too vulnerable, though. Big Baller Brand like to swap things up as well.
Caution.
Yeah.
For a second, I thought we were going to get an aggressive mid play from Big Baller Brand. We actually still might. Both Renz and Instinct are at the ready here. Sugar Freeze over in Cubby. I think we're going to see some early action in mid. There's that recon dart going pretty deep, and Instinct straight on over into mid lane, already pinning down Black Moose. Can't get a second, but Renz will at least keep it even trades. Or even-ish. Only 2 HP, though. Soba's just going to spam him through the wall, and Welshie's on the other side of the world right now. Obey Alliance charging onto the site, and 1v2, this is going to be pretty hard for Welshie to pull off.
Welshie looking for a team. Everyone was taken down so fast from the side of Obey Alliance. Really good aggression coming through from this team now. The Killjoy low on HP, so ideally playing this for time, playing very, very defensively for Obey Alliance to stay ahead. Even then, pushing into B-side, not really easy for that retake.
Love these stars coming out early. Ooh, Welshie even gets rid of the Nano Swarm there. Position will be given away by that alarm bot. Doesn't really know where any of them are. Soba takes quite a bit of damage, but hitting the headshot will win the duel, and Obey will take the lead.
The lead finally given to Obey Alliance. Both of the teams fighting for it. The question is Big Baller Brand going to accept it? What is going to be their reaction? They don't really have the economy to afford much, but it is still possible. Even with the sheriffs, I mean, we talk about Renz, we talk about Instinct, about Sugar Free, about how good they are at getting kills, even on those eco rounds. This is the position when they need to do it again.
I'm certainly not counting Big Baller Brand out of this round, but I do have to give the edge to Obey Alliance by quite a bit here. Especially with Sugar Free getting spotted early and that flash not really paying off for Instinct. The early play, the aggressive play, not finding the openings that Big Baller Brand needed, and now they are forced almost entirely off of A. Obey should be very aware of where Sugar Free is standing, but he's still actually able to get one. Guardian in hand. Renz is good for a second here. It's not all roses for Obey Alliance. They're going to have to use the Hunter's Fury to try and take care of the lockdown. Instinct's walking around, but pinned down, revealed. Oh, Soba's got an actual gun. Not much Big Baller Brand can pull off there.
Yeah, not much, especially with Obey Alliance and the ultimates that they use, especially, I mean, towards the end, the lockdowns coming through, putting that pressure for both of the teams to do something, to act fast. There's not a lot of time. You either have to destroy, you have to run away, but then you can have a situation where the defense is going to play more aggressive. This time around for Big Baller Brand, it doesn't really work, but we do see an operator now.
Sugar Free just biding his time. Smoke's going to clear him out, though. He's not going to be able to shoot that same angle. An aggressive utility investment here from Obey to instantly wipe away the mid control. Sugar Free's aware, though. Takes out the first one. Waiting for a swing out the smoke. At least good for one more before he falls. Sugar Free not dying in vain whatsoever. It will be a retake. It's 4v3 for Big Baller Brand. Ooh. Soba's position given away. Beautiful Instinct. Going to be able to clean that up with courtesy of his own Seekers. Black Moose out of ammo and in a rough crossfire. Sujay's good for a couple, but having to look every which direction is not cohesive for a retake. Excellent, for a post-plant defense, rather. Excellent work by Big Baller Brand on the retake.
And there was so much action going on, right? It was a Cosmic Divide, it was a Hunter's Fury, it was the Seekers going on, trying to get any information, and Big Baller Brand able to get it with those Seekers was always so helpful. Initiating with the 2 kills that Sugar Free was able to get, sure, he gets taken down, but that is the opening. That also gives the invitation for the rest of the team, who was in another position to rotate to the point where we didn't really see any sort of breaks from the kills coming through from Big Baller Brand.
Much needed win for Big Baller Brand as well, as now they can keep buying up. And stay close with Obey Alliance. Nice shock dart. I believe that was just blind, too. Expected Sugar Free to be standing there. Obey playing for a little bit of this passive mid control, but they're not taking it fully. There's still a risk that someone could swing out Cubby or through mid here. Because Obey Alliance are playing so far back. They're just checking, waiting for Big Baller Brand to get ambitious, but no such luck. Big Baller Brand, they're aware of the dangers of doing that. Now Obey are setting up for this split A take. early Cosmic Divide, actually.
Blocking vision.
Big Baller Brand, I mean, you can argue that it was a good read. This was setting up for A, but now Obey, I mean, that cuts off half the map here for Big Baller Brand. And with Instinct unable to actually pin down Swarns, there's not really much information. That gets them a lot of info.
30 seconds
Beautiful
left.
work from Instinct there to check A main. And now we're down to 30 seconds. Obey have to go somewhere.
Oh, you're just having difficulty deciding what is going to be best. Going to be,
Oh, no.
once again, pushing up.
Desire's in a very dangerous position here. Not cleared. They're checking instead for Sugar Free, and beautiful setup from Big Baller Brand. The patience on that defense there. Working absolute wonders. Super Monkey's at least able to kill Sugar Free. Maybe even deny that operator. Gotta stay alive for it, though. Izire not quite able to jump over and get it. Not as bad as it could have been economically, but when it's all said and done, Big Baller Brand tie it up.
5-5, looking very close. Big Baller Brand, really good reaction time once again, while Obey Lions, they were in a stock situation. They didn't have a lot of utility to give them that information, and the one that they used, it was already, they were still hesitant to be effective and to push in time, so it was just playing for the stakes, trying to get Sugar Free, but they ended up getting taken down before that.
Oh, Sugar Free. Super Monkey just waving hello. Hi, we see you're up now. We're gonna go to B and try and avoid it. Black Moose out into the site, and a beautiful spam too. Ren's down. That's just a clean take from Obey. Not wasting even a moment. Super Monkey's in a pretty rough spot. The Trailblazer doubling back to concuss him. But still a very strong position for Obey Alliance. They've got Sworn set up in B main too. He's gonna be hard to clear out.
Blinded.
Yeah, Flash doesn't really get Big Baller Brand anywhere either because of the gravity well set up by Obey Alliance. Owl Drone spotting Instinct. He's just going to have to wait that one out. Oh, that's aggressive, Sugar Free! Oh, eventually found through the wall. And with Sworn still being alive, it might not be enough. It was a hero play and attempt. But it will not be... Or it will not... it was not meant to be. And Obey will still hold it down.
Yeah, everyone had to push together, and that was a difficult situation. Really good job from Sugar Free, though. Even if they don't get that round, that is insane performance, insane control from this Jet. And they are already behind, but it is so close. It's just a matter of who is able to get that momentum first, that first pick, and then that is the opening. I mean, look at this. Both, it seems like for Big Baller Brand, they're buying the operator, both of them trying to get those picks as soon as possible.
Last round of the half now. Big Baller Brand, they've yet to go for too many of those really aggressive pushes. Super Monkey has been up through mid so many times. It doesn't give an opening to Big Baller Brand to really take advantage of the map like we saw in the earlier series today. Zara spamming through, though, will get one, and while she's swinging out the smoke, good for... Oh, just one. Okay, almost two. A flash from Instinct still gets J away, though. I mean, look at how Big Baller Brand have moved here. Even with Welshie falling, it's still a 4v3. Make it 3v3 that they're walking into. A Cosmic Divide going up as well. All you have to do is watch Heaven, but Sugar Free's up in Heaven. It's pretty... Okay, well, I was going to say it's pretty rare that he missed the shot. I don't really count that one.
I have the spike.
Black Moose in a tricky spot now, especially as the Owl Drone is coming to tag him. Manages to actually get rid of it before that tag goes down completely. Sidesteps the flash. The Sneakers gives him away, though, and Renz will make sure that we leave the first half 6-6.
Switching sides.
Very, very intense so far with Big Baller Brand and Obey Alliance, both of them fighting. No one able to take more than 3 rounds in a row. No one really able to build a very strong economy, and that is kind of where the issue started for both of them. They were trying to get that momentum going for a couple of rounds, trying to buy properly, but it wasn't really happening. And I just want to remind you guys that one of our sponsors, Memory Express, is Canada's premier destination for computer products across since 1996. Now, with 14 stores across Canada, They're ready to serve you in store and online, so check them out at memoryexpress.com.
And as we move into this half, you know, we've talked a lot in these last couple of matches where we've seen Big Baller Brand about how good their offenses are, but I don't think they've run into as strong of a defense composition as what Obey Alliance have, right? I mean, between the Astra, the Killjoy, the KO to an extent, it's going to be difficult for a lot of these executes to come through. The pistol round is where it's going to be easiest. You have less utility and less firepower, so you can get onto the site without too much difficulty. That's exactly what Big Baller Brand do. Nice shot card there, too. Double bouncing it all the way into glass, keeping Obey Alliance at bay. This is going to turn into a very messy retake very quickly here. Already, it's just everyone shooting everywhere.
It's the last of them.
But Big Baller Brands are the one left standing.
The attackers of Big Baller Brand able to win this again. So most of the times that we've seen them on those gun runs, they're able to get those pistol rounds. They're able to get them pretty much immediately. Very aggressive, completely catching the defense off guard as everyone is trying to rotate in time and play with the team. So Obey Alliance down for one. Not to worry about it yet, though. It's looking really close. We might be going to that overtime, I'm thinking.
Well, and Obey Alliance are going to force here. They're not letting Big Baller Brand get away with the typical anti-eco. Gotta be very careful as to where you decide to actually attack if you're Big Baller Brand. They're not going hastily, though.
Shock dart.
Clearing out a lot of information toward B main. And at least getting some utility out of the defensive Astra. Suj forced to use some smokes there. Just out of the worry. This is a nice little cistern peek. That's actually very reserved, too. Super Monkey, I don't think, gets spotted on that most of the time. How much information gained by Big Baller Brand right now? Finally, one player will be spotted. UJ tagged by the dart, just gonna have to get the heck out of there. Gonna double back. Ooh, in a corner. Oh, Sugar Free dashed into his buddy, but Instinct will make it worth it. Don't worry. Don't worry, man. I may have body blocked you, but I'll get both players. So it's still a trade up for Big Baller Brand. They should be aware now that it was a force. Ooh! Taking a couple of tags as they head on back to B. It's a nice position from Welshi, and Soba had no idea that the Astra would have pushed that deep.
Swarm grenade out.
One's gonna have to cleave through them here, and he's only good for one, so it'll be 3v1. Black Moose has quite the hill to climb if he wants to make this force pay off for Obey.
Oh.
Put on the first, second at long range. Watching for someone to come from that direction too. Now knows where Welshi is standing. But Welshi can just play time. Black Moose didn't quite see where Renz's gun is. Still expects him to be back sight. That was a great reposition from Renz. And a shutdown of the force.
Really good timing, yeah, for that better positioning. Just saving that, knowing that Soa was going to know where both of them were. So Big Baller Brand now getting 2 rounds ahead, trying to get a little bit more. And this is what we talked about. When they're able to get those rounds at the beginning of this half, that's when it gets a little bit harder for the enemy to catch up, especially when Big Baller Brand is on the attacking side. They're able to pretty much buy everything that they want right now.
And Big Baller Brand aren't really afraid now. They know that they've shut down the economy of Obey. So they're going to get some pretty aggressive position here towards the A site. Seeker's at the ready too if Instinct wants to invest that. Not sure he will. It is... Okay, well, there it goes. As I was trying to finish that thought, there go the Seekers to give away some of the positions. Oh, Swarm's still able to pick up one, though. Soba hiding inside that smoke. Super Monkey, you maniac! Dashes away and just wastes more time. Soba's not able to get much, trying to just run in desperately with a shorty. Woo! Black Moose, though, at range, trades pretty decently, and suddenly it's a 2 versus 2.
player standing.
Beautiful turret there from Desire.
Spike planted.
And Swarms with just 67 health. Position known now as well because of that guiding light. There's not much Swarms should be able to do here outside of hitting a couple of ridiculous shots. I mean, all you really have to do if you're Big Baller Brand is, yeah, set up in hell. Play a very safe crossfire here. Ones will drop and immediately be eliminated. 3 in the round for Instinct, and a 9th now on the board for Big Baller Brand.
This is definitely not a side where I like free taking. It is an absolute nightmare. We can see it there. You know they're going to be hell, but will they be right? Will they be left? Will they go to another side? It is so hard to tell, especially if you're the last member remaining. It's so hard to clutch in situations like this, where they are not in a visible spot. And so Big Baller Brand is going to take that opportunity, getting 3 points ahead. Looking forward to keeping it going, and Obey Line's trying to deny this with an operator or Super Monkey.
Ooh. Monkey not quite able to give Sugar Free that haircut. Oh, that's very well done, actually, by Black Moose. Getting rid of the forward turret there, so B main is now a mystery to Big Baller Brand. They're going to invest toward it, though, because they know where the op was. They expect that to reposition toward A, because it would be inefficient to have both the op and the Odin covering the same site. The problem is they're still walking into the Odin if they do decide to go toward B. Owl Drone and Trailblazer used in sync here to maximize the amount of information given. But all they really get is that they don't really know where anyone is.
Yeah, it gets really hard.
Yeah, Super Monkey evades it, spots Sugar Free, but can't quite pin him down. Sugar Free is an elusive little jet there, and yet another Seekers for Instinct. Gonna escort Big Baller Brand onto the site. They know there's a couple waiting there, but Black Moose with the Odin spams through the floor beautifully. And a jumping right click to finish it off. That was bloody.
That confidence really showing now for Obey Lines, especially towards the end. Black Moose with an amazing job so far on this Sova. Getting 4 kills there. Big Baller Brand trying to do anything, but not really being enough. And from the beginning, I mean, we saw it getting that turret. They already denied some information coming through. And they keep doing it over and over again until just that positioning is so beneficial for this team.
Black Moose with the Odin there has been a menace every single time we've seen him. Big Baller Brand, they find that out the hard way. Now they're forced onto just the Sheriffs, just the pistols. An eco round for them. Ooh, Sujay actually backing up there. Gonna go for the Cistern Peak now, but I don't think he actually spots anything off that. No, and they're underneath. Look, they heard it. Big Baller Brand, they're inching forward now, but Sujay is aware that something could be amiss. Not gonna get caught off guard by this easily. 2 players both fall. Great work from Sujay. That could have gone so poorly, but instead it is all blue in the kill. As a flawless round comes through for Obey.
Very clean Obey Alliance. Also, once again, trying to match up the score, trying to tie up the speed, and they are doing it. They're doing a really good job. It's just a matter of keeping it going. We saw Big Baller Brand on the second half getting up to 3 rounds before they lost it. Obey Alliance trying to do the same, also trying to better that economy as soon as possible. So far, they are good. They need to guarantee this win.
That offset back up in mid once again. Smoke's gonna make it, so Super Monkey has to fall off to a deeper position. Big Baller Brand not really showing any consistent pushes toward any particular section of the map. They've been switching up their play pretty often here. So it means that Obey just have to stay separated. A lockdown fake towards the A site. But the Trailblazers should have been heard. So no one's really moving right now. Was there I'm sorry, was there some sort of utility set up there? Was that the fragment? Was that a lineup for the fragment from Soba that got rid of the lockdown? That is...
Yeah.
That's insane.
Hawk out.
I love
I was
stuff like
also
that.
looking at that. Yeah,
Ooh.
it just looks very interesting.
Sujay.
How?
Sujay! The cloud burst from Sugar Free actually gave him cover on the flash, so he's able to come out mid and get the one pick. Swarm's holding down tree, and suddenly Big Baller Brand, they don't have squat going for him right now. Well, she eventually finds Soba and gets payback for that fragment, but with Instinct being the only one left, I mean, what can you even do here?
10 seconds left.
One pick, not bad, but that's about it. Now we're tied up 9-9.
Tied up 99 and not looking good for the economy of Big Baller Brand this time around. We've seen the second half has been 3-3. Obey Lions trying to keep it going. They have an operator. They have really good weapons as well to use, full shields. And on the other side, Big Baller Brand really struggling with anything they have here. Is going to be the sheriffs. It's going to be all about trying to use that utility to their best of the extent, and also trying to use Sugar Free's ultimate to try to get something going early on.
Get out of my way.
Yep, Blade Storm popped. Not
I can't
really
use that.
much Sugar Free can do here, though. If you look at like the positions from Obey Alliance, they're playing very far back on the site. Soba's only going to peek this for a fraction of a second to throw the fragment straight into A main. And Super Monkey's crossed, avoids the flash. Sugar Free up onto the generator. Knows where one is, flicks on over. Can't quite pin down Super Monkey, though. And that means he'll be taken down in that Jet 1v1. It's a trade,
Bomb grenade out.
but not one that really Big Baller Brand can take advantage of. They're going to plant the spike, but that leaves one just sacrificed. Well, she's just going to stay on the site and give himself away. He's been detained, stuck inside this smoke, and Sujay ain't letting him get away with that. Swarm's now knows he has to try and clear A main. The Nano Storm's keeping Obey Alliance off this defuse. And an excellent Cosmic Divide.
Last player
Hunter's
standing.
Fury. Ooh, gonna pin down Sujay, though. And I don't think Black Moose has any idea that Instinct is right there. Down to 15 health. Second flash not quite gonna land. Black Moose, this is such a difficult spot. And a Thrifty comes through for Big Baller Brand.
Good ultimate use as well. The Hunter's Fury coming in time once again, completely denying anything that the enemy team wanted to do. And with that, a couple more ultimates are going to be available. But this time around is going to be more aggressive for the setup of Bay Alliance and more information given for Big Baller Brand. When you have those Seekers, they are so helpful to know where the enemy team is. I absolutely love seeing these ultimate as they've used an instant, an insane player, 21 kills so far.
Oh. Poor Instinct, dude. He's just trying to stand there, just trying to set up his flash. Takes 90% of his health bar in damage before even a second had ticked. Ooh, this is an aggressive play. Obey going through. Super Monkey gets the pick, spots the spike, but will not get away. Drone going out into mid too. Big Baller Brand smell that something is up, but it's going the wrong direction. They have no idea that somebody is coming around all the way through their own spawn. Sworn, kind of late to this though. Not going to be there to help his team on site, and Black Moose gets pinned down. Sujay not having a good time in market either, and suddenly what was almost a very tasty flank turns into a very difficult retake. So it was just going. Ult has been popped. Pop flash out. I mean, there's just not much you can do here. Another flash available. 0 points still up 2.
It is done.
But that's just it. Beautiful crossfire from Big Baller Brand. They don't even sweat holding the line.
Yeah, that's why I'm always so hesitant to see those very long flanks happening, because, yeah, you want to do good things. You want to get a couple picks when no one else is looking. But you are also risking that your team is going to be alone when they need it the most. Especially for the Killjoy. I mean, you're able to hold those sides a lot better with that utility. So it's a difficult situation for Obey Lions. Well, I mean, Big Baller Brand, they're getting ahead. And now by 2.
Obey will have one more gun round here. Super Monkey using the Blade Storm. in lieu of an actual rifle. Ooh. Oh, timing doesn't quite work out for him, and he can't find the head of Welshi. Great work there from Big Baller Brand to isolate that Jet, make the Blade Storm a non-factor. They have all the time in the world, too. Obey are going to have to split up. Look how passively most of them have to play. If Black Moose isn't careful. Okay, never mind. Thought Big Baller Brand was going to push more heavily to tree, but it seems like they're going for the waterfall out A main. That's going to be difficult for them. Aldrone does clear out A main, so at least they have that going for them. Trailblazer then onto site, and Sujay has been spotted. Smoke off. Black Moose not able to get anything done, and a flash hits Sujay perfectly. Black Moose trying to use shock darts, recon darts, whatever he can throw at Big Baller Brand to be a thorn in their side, but that's all it is. It's just a thorn. Doesn't actually get any eliminations. And look at Renz. He came around through mid. Sworn's able to put a stop to that, but 2v4 for a retake in a pivotal round. They need some kind of miracle. Well, she's going to get spotted, but that just tees up Stoba. And Sworns doesn't know where to look. Barely any health, but Ease Iron Sugar Free get it done, and now it is map point in favor of Big Baller Brand.
The retake once again becoming so difficult to happen. Big Baller Brand, now they are rolling 3, trying to get that 4th round in a row, and that is going to be it for this map for Ascent. Obey Lions, they were doing really good, especially that first half, but look at that. It's almost consistent. They get 3, they lose. Maybe they get 1, they lose, and then once again 3. It's just coming back and forth. They need to, like we said, keep that consistency going.
They don't have much to try and climb their way back into an overtime here. Big Baller Brand. Ooh, doesn't quite spot the 2 players up through mid. Super Monkey times this right. You can come up with a play that'll save Obey Alliance, but Aldrone, ooh, actually setting up a recon dart there, but doesn't seem like any of that hit, and Sugar Free's just gonna wait out the spam from the Ares and sneak through the enemy's Cloudburst. Very well done. Movement, positioning, perfect from Sugar Free. Big Baller Brand setting up for that A hit. Lockdown's not a fake this time around. Black Moose is going to be here. This is a very strong spot if he plays it right. Ooh, Judge at range. Ah! Sugar Free far enough back to where that wasn't really an issue, and Black Moose isn't going to be able to spam because that Gravity Well is going to pull him away. A very well set up execute here by Big Baller Brand. Well, she not even caught off guard by Sujay running out the smoke. Only 2 standing for Obey Alliance if they want to try and take the first map away. Super Monkey looking worse for wear. At least able to take off Ren's head. So far away from his teammate, though. It all comes down to winning individual gunfights. Okay, Super Monkey's going to group up now with Sworns. They're going to try to walk out tree together. A couple players watching Heaven, too. But not anymore. Oh, Super Monkey's able to take out Sugar Free, but we're running out of time. Obey Alliance, they have to charge forward now, and Super Monkey takes it very literally, charging straight into the barrel of Welshi and finding only bullets as Big Baller Brand take map number 1.
Number 1 and 1 more to go at least, but we saw it being very close. It's a lot of gaining the momentum, especially on Ascent. It can be very momentum based depending on your economy, and that is exactly what we saw. Big Baller Brand, of course, getting away with the most of that economy every single time, even when they were saving. And so it's a big challenge here. We are going to Icebox next too.
And now Big Baller Brand, they're on series point. Reminder, folks, this is a best of 3 in the NorQuest Esports Series Grand Finals. And thank you again to NorQuest College, who managed to provide support to 19,354 educational learners from the Edmonton region and all over the world. So if you want more information on NorQuest College, make sure to check out www.norquest.ca. Icebox next on the docket. Obey Alliance, they're going to have to come up with arguably an upset win on a map that that Big Baller brand looked so good on earlier
Yeah.
today. We're going to go to Icebox after a quick break. Maybe we get a map 3, maybe Big Baller brand close it out. Only one way to find out, folks, and that's to stick around. Big Baller brand just need one more map to close out the day as the champions of the NorQuest Esports Series Valorant Champions Division. And we're going to go to Icebox, which is their map pick. They got to be feeling ready. Obey Alliance have to pull it back, try and send us to split if they want to get this done. Potentially one final time. Hopefully not the final time. It is myself, Possible, alongside Dryad. Dryad, I got to say, although Obey are also coming off a 13-9 win, I think Big Baller brand definitely are feeling quite a bit better with Icebox being this map number 2.
Oh yeah, they did really good on the last one. They were struggling a little bit more in the attack, which was surprising to me. But overall, they did a really good job. They really know how to play a little bit more aggressive, especially on the defense, which was also a surprise to me. They're really good at adapting for the situation. And when you have Sugar Free with the operator, with the jet, you're also able to bring a couple of those standard agents that we saw very early into Valorant. You see, of course, that Sova once again coming through. You see the Sage as well, the Viper, all those standards here for Icebox. They're so helpful, both for when you're attacking and when you're defending.
I do really like this composition too from Obey Alliance. I always like to see another smoke agent paired alongside a Viper on maps like Icebox. There are so many angles. Even Viper with her toxic screen and the poison orb can't cover everything. So getting the Omen in alongside that offers you a ton of control, especially on the attacking side, which is where Obey is starting.
Yeah, especially as of recently. I mean, playing the Viper, it's been a very interesting conversation for some teams that want to bring it more, want to bring it less, depending. I feel like the Arena pick, on the other hand, for the set of Big Baller brand, you have that utility that makes you able to win those first fights, those duels that are so effective. And when we see instinct on this agent, then you already have the confidence. When you have the rest of your team for a Big Baller brand, you already have a good confidence that they're able to play together, to synergize, to try to blind a couple of the members of the enemy team, and with that start working out to get the kills.
Shadows traveling.
Instinct has had quite a weekend as well. Insane on not only the Sky, but also the Reyna when we saw him earlier today. That didn't go too well for him. I feel like that was a caster curse. Sorry, Instinct. That one's on me, buddy. Paranoia's gonna hit Sugar Free too. He's forced to just go group up with Renz. We'll take out Super Monkey on the way, but not much else goes right for him. Zara close, but not gonna swing to deny that plant.
Spike planted.
Knows that he'd be walking into far more than he can take on his own.
Last player
Trying to
standing.
isolate these 1v1s, but Obey Alliance just shove on top of him. Now Welshie's left alone. Black Moon's up top watching for him. And Obey Alliance, they start off strong.
Black Moon is seeing what she's had, taking her down, and with that, first round once again going for Bay Alliance. This is the second time that we see it happening, and it's also been in the same situation. Those who are attacking, those who are defending. We see the same between Big Baller brand and Obey Alliance for this map, and so Obey. I mean, when they are attacking, they're able to get that better economy. They're even committing to that Vandal, it seems like, from Suje.
This is what Obey did last time too. They liked to heavily invest into just full rifles on a couple players at least. After they won that pistol, that very first pistol on Ascent. Ooh, Sugar Free?
Ooh.
Unfortunate, buddy. And now, I mean, that's just the go button for Obey. Once they found one, they're confident they can take the rest. Gonna get that spike planted without any issues. And I don't give Big Baller brand too many hopes. Well, she a cheeky little pick there with the shorty, but I think that's about all that's gonna go right here. Although, as I say that, a Spectre is recovered. Suddenly, Big Baller brand are looking a little bit more menacing. They're walking out into quite a difficult scenario. That was a beautiful recon dart, though. It pulled Suje's attention at just the right time, and Swarm's alone on the site.
Player standing.
Can't look every direction at once. It's low health for both of the players on Big Baller brand, and Black Moose He does have an Owl Drone to pin this down, but I don't know if he can get the angle onto Renz there. He has to charge forward, and he can't stop the defuse!
Oh, that was just the planting. It didn't go as they wanted to, and so Big Baller Brand, they also tie it already 1-1. Big Baller Brand, a licensing instinct on this arena once again, being able to get those kills, being able to use that heal a little bit for themselves, and with that, it gives them enough space to use their rest of the abilities to get some intel to get the remaining kills. So Bay Lions, unfortunate situation that we saw towards the end.
Extremely unlucky for Obey. And now they're out of money. This is a great start for Big Baller Brand now. They've recovered so swiftly. Although that's not great. Sugar Free already dying. Definitely a bit of an overinvestment in positioning, but the rest of Big Baller Brand make up for it. Super does recover a rifle. I believe was dropped by Sugar Free and makes it a 1v2. Has no idea where anyone is. Has to hop over and grab the spike.
I have this.
Is heard doing so as well. So now, Dweller Brand are aware of where he is, and Ezire finds him easy peasy.
My ultimate is not ready.
Yeah, it gets a lot easier to find the Sage on the high ground. Getting taken down immediately, and Big Baller Brand already... it seems like they're just going to get ahead once again. If you give them that confidence, especially here in Icebox, they're not going to stop. Like we saw before, they started getting that momentum. They didn't let it go until the end, but now for this next round, both of the teams able to buy mostly. A couple ultimates as well going on for Big Baller Brand as they've been winning most of those rounds, including that Empress coming through from Instinct.
Oh boy.
Revealing area.
Don't tell me this is a mid to B. Okay, even Ezire doesn't want it to be a mid to B. Puts up the wall and says, no, we're not doing that today. He's going to creep up into kitchen. Gotta be careful on what angle he watches this. I like this more passive angle from Ezire.
Ooh.
Gives him good odds on this first gunfight. A dash out. He's not able to take down Super Monkey, but just stays focused on the objective and trades himself 1 for 1. Ren's getting here. The timing here is everything. Finds one with the gun out, or with a knife out rather, but Ren's can't actually connect. Sugar Free's now left alone. He's gotten into a very strange spot. Spots Black Moose running around. Can't quite pin anyone down though. This has been a comedy of errors for Big Baller Brand. I'm not gonna lie. And while the Empress is available, is here. Low health for all of Obey Alliance too. Not a likely round for Instinct, as you have to try and fight these players all one at a time, and there's still quite a bit of utility available for Obey. Ooh. Sidestepping the Owl Drone is the first step. Got hit by the Recon Bolt. That just stalls so much time away. Gives away his position, too. And now it's unwinnable.
Yeah, lost the Empress. She seems like it was either used too early, or I would have even considered saving it, knowing the positioning for the Alliance was going to be that good. Everyone was going to be holding their corners, and yeah, like I said, if we wanted to see Instinct taking them, it had to be a 1v1, which is very unlikely with that positioning that Obey Alliance had. So now, the economy of Big Baller Brand suffering for a little bit for the next round. But I want to see the positioning more than anything coming through from B. You see already 3 of them there.
Standing ahead.
Oh, now we're going mid to B. Now we're just charging through. Ezire's not going to get anything out of that 2 push either. You have to be a little bit careful, but Obey, they've set this up right. And they don't have to clear out all toward B now. They planted, and they're just going to try and post-plant from mid. This is risky. There are a lot of different angles they can be assailed from, so they have to keep their heads on swivels. UJ pins one down, but Instinct already inside. Ends with the timing. Oh, can't quite hit it. Instinct does have a rifle here and has gotten pretty deep. The problem is, how do you actually defuse if you're Welshie now? It's actually just going to stick it. But doesn't know that Sujay's right behind him. Sujay's just going to run on top of him, find the headshot without any difficulty, and that is the ace for Sujay.
Also, first ace that we see here in broadcast, and nothing else in the grand finals. Really good job from CJ. Obey Alliance now getting ahead by 1 round and trying to keep it going. That economy looking a lot better. Well, Big Baller Brand. It was a good strategy when it came to the defense. It it was a good planning, but they took too long to react to what OB Alliance was bringing to them. They also lost that Sage very early on, so that didn't really help.
Back to guns now for Big Baller Brand. They can't let this get away from them. OB Alliance just charging head first onto the A side. Dash out from Super Monkey and everything. Even wins the fight against Welshie on the low ground. Falls into the Hunter's Fury, though, and that's not going to go too well for him. Ren's trading that out ultimately, but not going to stop the plant. And the res is available for Super Monkey. Instinct swinging out, trying to take advantage. At least will punish the res, but ultimately Stoba trades it better. 3v4, make it 3v3 as Izar finds the opposing Sage. They have to be aware. They heard the From the Shadows from Sujay, so they know that there's a potential. Someone is back behind them. Sugar Free with just an inch angle there. Manages to find one and a second. Sujay going down. But there's no chance for a defuse here. Sugar Free has to wait out those snake bites. Charge forward. Oh! Can't quite pull out his classic in time to take out Swarns or get the defuse.
Yeah, tough situation to be in. There's pretty much nothing else I can do if you're Sugar Free. You have to go in, hopefully getting the pick, but even then, OB Alliance already knows where you are. So it does get a lot harder. Good job for OB Alliance, though. Once again, being able to maintain their economy, and Super Monkey having this operator is going to be huge for them as well, just to hold those angles if they're able to plant early on.
Big Baller Brand. Woo! Marshall versus the Op. Doesn't seem like either one connects. Sugar Free out mid with the knives. Does spot Sujay, but that's not something he can actually push. Very heavy lean towards B here for Big Baller Brand. Now they have to spread back out and recognize that they've left A open. Pick onto Welshie. They're doubting themselves, though. They don't know what's happening on the map at all. Bay Alliance have free reign, essentially. Just double back, head to A. Sugar Free is here, will be able to get contact, and with the Blade Storm, there's a chance he trades decently well. It's all about this first pick. Recon Dart, ooh, gonna give him away. That Cloud Burst, sure, his exact position is unknown, but they know he's there. They're wary of the knives now. Paranoia forces him away. And the spike can get planted pretty safely here. Ooh, or maybe not. Actually delayed, and Sugar Free stops it. Swings on out and then dashes into safety. Desire with a tiny little angle, not quite able to connect though. With Sugar Free falling, there's not much firepower left for Big Baller Brand.
30 seconds left. Last player standing.
Yeah, that'll be it.
Yeah, Blackman is getting able to get those couple of kills, and OB Alliance now getting ahead by a lot more than we thought was going to happen, knowing how aggressive Big Baller Brand likes to play when they see the situation going on. At least for them, they were able to save that round. So now getting those operators, getting those rifles to work with them a little bit more, and those ultimates, 3 of them for each team. So we can expect a very, very aggressive round once the aggressors get into point.
One more chance at guns here for Big Baller Brand, but 2 to 5 right now. This is starting to get away from them. A Viper's Pit on A. There's a little bit of leeway for Big Baller Brand to stack more heavily toward the B site. They want to try and funnel OB Alliance into the more difficult area. Instinct's got a nice little angle here, too. Oh, if he pushes this too far, though, he's going to run into quite a few. All right, gets the information. Pops the Empress, gets out of there. Super Monkey with a beautiful peek there. How do you ever spot the head of the Sova on that angle? Instinct holding a tight angle. First is easy. Second one, he just dismisses away from, but Sova will chase him down. Bay Alliance, they've gotten quite a few picks, and Welshie, no! Thought he was going to be able to go around. Thought could maybe get something there that nobody had actually pushed through A, but waiting for him. And now Sugar Free, I mean, it's 2v5. You have an op in hand.
30 seconds left. Spike planted.
Could maybe play for this res, maybe play for the round. But it would just be oh so difficult. Ooh, and Ezire's down now. All right, now you can't play for it anymore. Sugar Free is in a very difficult position. Ooh, shots one, and that was quite a shot. Gotta give him that at least. A second one, too. No way. No way. He's only got one bullet in the clip, dropping down. Just waiting to no scope, but a Sova comes from behind and puts a stop to the insanity.
Oh, that's really good nonetheless, though, for the side of Sugar Free. Gets 3 right there with the operator. Seems like he wasn't able to get any at all with that positioning, but no one looking into the high ground, and that was the opening. Getting a little bit better still, but having to save nonetheless for this team, as Obey Alliance ready 6 rounds on their pocket and trying to get ahead for this first half.
Big Baller Brand, once again, pretty much out of money here. Some light buys coming through, sure, but not enough to where Obey feel threatened. Look how quickly they take position toward B. And just nothing's going to stop them. Big Baller Brand, they were pushing out A. And Welshie and Izar, there really isn't anything they can do here. Line coming all the way around. Sujay spots them both, though. Oh, and it's not even difficult for him to take those 2. Sugar Free will get out and claim another, though. I think he recovered a rifle and everything. No way Sugar Free almost clutches this twice, though, right? No, Super Monkey not letting it happen this time around.
Wow, it's all about Obey Alliance now. I mean, look at that. Look at how many rounds he won in this first half. The opportunities for Big Baller Brand to try to make that comeback. At least to tie it up in this first half, they are gone. And so they are just trying to make and to get as many rounds as possible. They have a couple ultimates to use for Obey Alliance. And, I mean, they have everything to keep this going. It's going to be very hard for Big Baller Brand unless they get those first picks.
Take flight.
Someone needs to come up with something very impressive for Big Baller Brand here. Sugar Free with a nice angle there. Starting off well, at least. Gets spotted, though. Dashing away. Avoids at least the first tag of that Hunter's Fury. And seems to stay alive. Instinct's not having the same kind of luck, though, as he pushes straight into Super Monkey. A Res 2. That means it's 5v4. Obey Alliance favored as they work their way back out across the map. Ooh, I like this, too, from Sujay. Commits to it and everything. Paranoia to clear that angle, and Welshie doesn't have anything available to him, rather. Plant goes down. It's 2v5 yet again. Obey Alliance, they are relentless in these early stages of the round. By the time the spike is planted, there's just no chance for Big Baller Brand. Oh, and Izar can't even find the one onto Super Monkey. Sujay comes around and stops him.
Yeah, I was also just about to say that by the time that the spike is planted, there's already a lot of losses from the set of Big Baller Brand to the point where that retake is almost impossible, especially here in Icebox. They get very, very difficult. There's so many angles, there's so many corners where anyone can hide, and so it gets tricky to figure out where they are. Even if you have a Sova for intel, anything is going to become a lot more difficult. And so Obey Alliance, they are playing this so well.
Sugar Free has decided, all right, it's time to play to the gallery. Charging on out. There's so many people there waiting for him, though. Oh, best effort, Sugar Free. Respect the effort. Well, see, that's one heck of a shot. Not gonna lie to you, buddy. But, still pretty rough. Still very rough. He's in a very rough spot himself. Welshie with another good shot, but Soba keeping Obey Alliance firmly in the driver's seat.
Last round
It does seem like we're going to another map. I mean, unless Big Baller Brand can make some crazy changes in the second half, Obey Alliance is just looking too good. They are going to be on the other position now very, very soon. And so it is the last opportunity for them to get ahead, to get those double digits. They have the operator, they have those rifles, and Big Baller Brand, they also have the same, but not as many opportunities.
of my
Last
way.
round before the swap now. Blade Storm's already been popped, just so that Super Monkey has that available to him if he gets into any scraps. Still has an op in hand though, so as long as they can set him up here on this B angle, that's all that's really necessary. Viper's Pit thrown out from Obey Alliance too. They just want to creep on and get that spike planted. Welshie falling makes things even more difficult. And look, I mean, Obey, this is all just bait as far as they're concerned. But it doesn't even matter. Super Monkey with yet another pick. It's 3v5 now. And Big Baller Brand, they aren't even on the right side of the map. At least Sugar Free will take out Sworn. So Big Baller Brand, they'll be able to figure that out and get the res under Welshie, even up the numbers. But the spike's going to get planted. And Big Baller Brand, how far they are from A, not only do they have to clear out a ton of the map and worry about both Sujay and Super Monkey, who are waiting for them, but then they have to try and make this defuse go. Sujay's good on another, and with the cross, well, she can only find one before Obey Alliance decimate Big Baller Brand.
Switching sides.
Double digits for Obey Alliance, and another half now that we get to see Big Baller Brand really struggling here. Only 2 rounds that they were able to get right at the beginning when they were messing with the Obey Alliance economy, and then they completely lost it. This is chaos for Big Baller Brand, who have played so well. We haven't really seen them on stream losing a single map. It's a tough situation to deal with, but now on the other hand, they really need to reset that mentality, figure out what they can do next, and figure out how they can play better.
And thank you again to Explore Edmonton. Edmonton is a catalyst for change. Our dream team will work with yours to take your vision and turn it into unforgettable for your delegates. With creative solutions, a can-do attitude, and a citywide network of doers and makers eager to roll up their sleeves and get things done, make sure you head over to exploreedmonton.com to find out more. Sujay's in a very tricky spot here. Ooh. But just gonna have to fall off it. Doesn't want to overcommit to that, especially since the smoke was expiring. Big Baller Brand, they haven't committed to this A hit either, and with how many players they see there, they want to instead just head on out. But the lack of noise makes Obey Alliance suspicious. Look, they're pushing out A now, so if nothing else, Obey should be aware that something is going on toward B. Oh, are they going to go for that huge flank back around? No. Okay, a couple players going on that flank. But largely, Obey just going to wait for the play for the retake.
Spike planted.
Cool.
I do like this deep wall here from Big Baller Brand. Oh, Soba with the perfect timing coming on out, but Instinct lines up a headshot there and gets both the people coming around from the flank. Izire in a tricky spot here too, and Black Moose doesn't know where to look. That's the start Big Baller Brand desperately needed to their attacking half.
Very, very desperate to even out this map, but it looks like it's going to be a very tough task. At least they have the better economy. They're able to do their same strategy that works most of the times. It is going to be those Spectres. With the Reyna, you're able to use those light shields and buy a rifle, an ideal situation for Instinct right now, top frag 11 kills. But even then, Obey Alliance, they haven't lost their momentum. They just lost one of their rounds, and it is not going to be easy. But if they're able to take a couple of those guns, that would put them in an ideal situation to win again.
Oh, DJ's gonna have to get the heck out of there. Recon Dart spotted him. That forward smoke isn't accomplishing what he was looking for. All 5 players from Obey are here, so even though it is a gun advantage to Big Baller Brand, they gotta be careful. Storm's already picking up a couple, and suddenly we're left in a 2v2. Welshie, down to 75 health. One headshot, I believe, would take him down.
Last player
And
standing.
Ezire's caught with the spike planting, but is able to make it out okay. And that will be Big Baller Brand continuing on. They only recover 2 of their guns from it, though. That means their economy's not in the best spot moving forward.
Yeah, one thing though, they're able to keep that rifle, which is the most important out of the weapons that they bought. Going to go once again for Instinct, who died throughout that round. And Obey Alliance, in the meantime, they want to stop this momentum. They want to stop it as soon as possible. They're going to be able to buy here. They're going to buy those rifles again. All those Vandals coming through.
I like how they toss the Vandal Instinct too. The trust that Big Baller Brand has in their Reyna.
Enemy mark.
Team play like that can pull you back from these 8-round deficits that Big Baller Brand found themselves in. Setting up for an A-take now. I'm keeping an eye on Welshie. I want to see which wall he goes for here. Okay, it's the classic one. The one that goes across snow just for the default plant. Doesn't give you tons of control. And, ooh, you got to be a little bit careful, too. That opening Swarns is found down below. Can make things difficult. He's got a poison orb on the default plant spot, too. So, I mean, Big Baller Brand, it's almost necessary that they push forward and try to get rid of Swarms. Otherwise, planting here is going to be a nightmare. They wait for the poison orb to expire and then put down their own barrier wall. So they do get that spike planted. Instinct going for the jump peak. Don't want to overcommit, though. Oh, that's a difficult fight for Instinct any day of the week. One's pushing on through. Doesn't know there's a player behind him. Sugar Free doing so much work, and now it's just down to Sujay. Sugar Free will fall. Sujay with the spray transfer. 90 degrees. Are you kidding me? But a shock dart puts an end to it. Oh, such a valiant effort, but Big Baller Brand will keep it moving.
Oh, that was so close too, but Big Baller Brand, they're the ones who get away with their round. This is exactly how they want it. Everything going according to plan for the set of Big Baller Brand. Obey Lions, even though they were close, even though they're playing different strategies, they're playing faster, they're playing slower, they're going to A or B. It doesn't seem like it's going to be enough in the second half. Once again, their economy is absolutely shattered.
I feel so bad for so many of the players in this lobby. We've had like 4 different almost clutches throughout this.
Yeah.
Man, the tease that they must be feeling right now. Ooh, Obey actually getting very aggressive here. Black Moose good for a second one too, before Welshie finally puts him down. Big Baller Brand, they're nervous now. They know that if they leave, they're potentially giving guns away, but they know that if they push, they have a lot to clear. Not a lot of info to actually clear it out. The Owl Drone pushing forward at least helps with that and spots Sujay pretty far back.
Oh.
Recon Dart 2. Ben's doing such a good job of enabling his team to push onto this site, giving them the confidence that they need, and finding the kill onto Sujay there. So now you can get this spike planted without too much of an issue. Welshie even getting rid of Stoba. We've seen some crazy things, but I don't think Swarns is pulling this off. Nah. All right, Big Baller Brand, they keep it going.
It doesn't seem like they're going to stop anytime soon. Obey Lions, their first half, that was theirs, but the second one is shaping to be a Big Baller Brand's half, where they are getting the kills. They're playing so well, they're making those rotations in time. The economy, it goes from good to bad, from good to bad, over and over again for Obey Alliance. Now looking a little bit better, being able to buy the operator, being able to buy those rifles again. But this time around, they do have to connect those kills. They need to deny that economy from Big Baller Brand.
Preemptive Viper's Pit utilized over on the A site. Swarns just making sure that Big Baller Brand are deterred from considering A as an option. Instinct's already used one of his Leers, it seems. Only has one remaining. Flash through the wall? Interesting choice. Players out this early position, but undoubtedly gives some information. And now, there's 3 players heading over to A. They're still going through the Viper's Pit, snake bites, what have you. This is a difficult situation for Big Baller Brand to try and force into. Instinct's eliminated on that mid lurk too, and Swarns gets rid of Sugar Free. There's not much of an entry. Swarns even doubling back, getting out of the smoke, and Izar doesn't check behind him. Well, she's now the only one left standing. His position's given away. A right click gets him a first one, but as the Viper's Pit drops, he's in a whole lot of hurt. Up over the top, Super Monkey with the right clicks.
30
Didn't
seconds
quite land it,
left.
but Obey, they don't need to push this. They've got a res. They're just going to wait. Let it happen. They have the spike. It's on Welshie to try and do something crazy here.
Toxin screen down.
I mean, so far from the spike, Welshie's not going to be able to do squat. Okay. Yeah, 2J will get rid of that. And Obey Alliance finally find their first round of their defense.
Just about time for Obey Alliance on the second half. Finally able to get a single round and looking better, able to keep a couple of those guns. It was the opposite scenario now where Big Baller Brand, they fell one by one, and Obey Alliance, they had the numbers, they had the res, they had everything to keep it going. It was just about holding corners. No one wanted to play too aggressive. Even when the Viper was the only one remaining, they needed to guarantee the win, and that is exactly what they did.
Big Baller Brand obviously not out of it yet. Oof. That's rough, though. Not only is that a player down, that's the res no longer available for this round. Trigger free spotted by the recon dart, too. But Big Baller Brand, they're not deterred. They're still going to send their way toward the A site. Recon bolt staves off the Empress, though. Everything Big Baller Brand are trying to gain over on A has been denied by excellent utility thus far from Obey. Instincts inched his way forward here. Ooh. They hear him, though. Soba was spamming him. Instinct's lucky he got away with his head intact. Viper's Pit enables Welshie to plant. Oh, Black Moose finds Welshie, though. Sugar Free at least answers back, but suddenly things are looking dire for Big Baller Brand. They're stuck on the spike. They're running out of time. Okay, Renz at least opens up the flank. Just the duelists remaining actually on site, and Black Moose blows through both of them. 4 in the round for the Sova of Obey. And now we're on map point.
Wow, how many times have we seen Black Moose, and how many times have we seen the Sovas being able to clutch in time, getting those 4 kills, 3 kills? So many times it's happened. Renz, it was a little bit more on the last map on Ascent, but now it is so going for Black Moose. Sujay too, we saw it at the beginning of each half, being able to be highlighted a little bit more with the Omen, and now it's really, really difficult for Big Baller Brand to make anything happen. Obey Alliance, they need one more round. They might just get it now.
Big Baller Brand, they say, all right, we're going out with a bang. Hands off the shift key, boys. We are sending into A. Hunter's Fury's going to deny that spike plant, though. Countered by Renz. He's trying to pin down the enemy Sova. We'll get the Viper instead, but Sugar Free overextends. Welshie falls, and things are not looking good for Big Baller Brand's chances on Icebox. Oh, I don't think Instinct was actually quite spotted. No, he was. He was absolutely spotted. At least he sets up Ezire for the trade, but suddenly Ezire's the only one left. Gets yet another on top of the wall, too. He's running out of ammo, and Super Monkey's got the right click, got the Blade Storm, and got this on lock. Let's head on to Split, folks. One more map in the grand finals of the NorQuest Esports series.
I am so excited to see Split. I mean, first of all, Grind Finals, the first match on broadcast, I would say, going to 3 maps. And on top of all, it's going to be a map that we haven't seen before. It's going to be Split. One of my favorites. There are so many things that you can bring. I cannot wait.
And I mean, if we're thinking about Split, right, my mind instantly jumps to KO. That was a pick that Soba has been trying to use on Ascent. It's had varied success, but I think Split, personally, I'm of the opinion that Split is KO's best map. You have such tight corners. There are so many opportunities for that 0 point to shut down an entire attacking team. Obey Alliance, suddenly, if there was any doubt in their mental's through the roof now. They got to be feeling great that we're going on to Split. I feel great that we're going on to Split. And thank you so much for all of our amazing sponsors. There's so many of them. A few of them are Alberta Innovates, ESIO, ATB, and the Calgary Economic Development. I mean, we couldn't do this without them. We're going to one more map, folks. Split is just around the corner, and we are finishing up the NorQuest Esports Series Valorant Champions Division after this quick break. It all comes down to this. We've had a Valorant-packed weekend of action here at the NorQuest Esports Series Valorant Champions Division, but after one more map, we will know whether it's Big Baller Brand or Obey Alliance walking away with the big W. One last time, folks. It's myself, Possible, alongside Dryad. And Dryad, Split, map 3. We couldn't have asked for anything better in our grand final.
I am so excited. I love seeing Split, one of my favorite maps. And for these two teams, and looking at the last two maps that we saw, it is just a lot of high expectations. This is the last opportunity for them to take this grand finals. I mean, Big Baller Brand, first map Ascent, they were looking insane. But when they went into Icebox, they were struggling a lot. They couldn't really catch up to the speed. Their economy was always struggling. And now this is really the time to reset that mentality, try to go again and see what they can do with it.
And I think it's very interesting going the map set that we have, because none of these maps play anything like each other, right? Ascent is a totally different game from Icebox, is a totally different game from Split, is a totally different game from Ascent, right? We're playing 3 completely different styles across our 3 maps. So a lot of bets are just completely off as we go on to Split. But I am going to double back to one thing we saw earlier, because I am convinced it's going to give Obey Alliance just a little bit of an edge. The KO coming out. We've seen it twice now from Obey Alliance over the course of the weekend. Both times were on Ascent. I definitely don't think KO is bad on Ascent, but I think Split is where he's really going to get a chance to shine. The 0 point especially offers so much to a defending or attacking team. And I think if Soba can pull that out, find value with it, Obey Alliance can walk away with the win.
Yeah, and that is where really the last opportunity to bring something like a KO, something that we haven't seen before. I mean, we saw the Reina a little bit more on Icebox coming through from the sort of Big Baller Brand, but it was still difficult to get any proper value out of it. Look at that. Everyone insta locking that race. One of my favorite agents to see on this map. All those closed corridors that allow you to give so much value out of those abilities, out of that boom bot, out of those paint shelves where no one can run away.
Yeah, I don't get the duelist I wanted to see, Dryad, but you get the duelist that you wanted to see on Split. So at least one of us gets to walk into Split happy. Oh, well, it is what it is. Swarns? Actually, you know what? I like Viper too. Swarns, you're okay in my book. Obey, you can still pull this off. I think it's going to be mostly back to a classic composition here, although we have some interesting role swaps for Big Baller Brand. We've only seen Instinct on the Sky thus far, but as he pulls out the Raze, Sugar Free is going to take up the mantle of that. And Renz has pretty much been like Sova one trick, going to move over to the Sage for this map. Same with Black Moose. That's what we see a lot of Sova players do when we get onto Split, because pretty much everyone agrees it's not a great map for Sova.
And I like this. We've talked about it, and it is also known the kit for Sky has so many things that almost play like a duelist. You have those splashers to push in as much as you can. You have those seekers as well, where it allows you to get a lot of information before pushing in. So it plays a lot like a duelist, also being able to support your team a little bit more. I am so excited to see it. I mean, it is one of those bigger differences that you can see between them. The Sky, we saw a little bit of an Ascent coming through, and it was 2 flashes in a row, an absolute nightmare for the people who had to deal with it.
Yeah, Sky definitely still an initiator, but can be played very self-sufficient on the initiator role. You don't necessarily have to play for the team 100% of the time like you do with something like a Stova, right? Or a Breach. You can very much just play for yourself, play to enable your own fights. And I mean, if I want to see anyone in a strong fight, it's Sugar Free, right? I feel like Sugar Free didn't have the strongest time on Icebox. That definitely hurt Big Baller Brand. This time around, we need to see them come up with the goods. They're already charging towards A. Oh, and I'm not feeling too good for Black Moose. Yeah, he is caught in the entire swarm of Big Baller Brand over there, and they're just on the site immediately.
Yeah, this is a good response. Immediate. They don't want to waste a single second. Big Baller Brand. This is the times where they shine the most, where they don't wait. They just go in and hold those corners, allowing, and also scaring a little bit of the start of Obey Alliance already.
Nice first pickup there from Instinct. It does give his position away, but repositioning ever so slightly gets away from Super Monkey and the swing coming out the smoke. Nobody falls. Big Baller Brand flawless to start off Split.
They were going very low, but yeah, managing to stay alive, managing to get that flawless, and Big Baller Brand able to keep this momentum. It seems like the one. So here's the thing: the one map where they didn't win this pistol round was the map that they lost. So I mean, I'm not saying anything, but I am saying something, you know?
Well, and you know, the other time that we've seen Big Baller Brand lose a pistol at the start of a map this weekend, they went down 0-6. So I think Big Baller Brand definitely, they can...
You're onto something.
We've got half an idea. We'll get there eventually. Big Baller Brand aren't waiting for us to catch up, though. They're just charging on forward and taking out Sujay before we can even finish our thought. This is a pretty calm second round aside from that, though. Big Baller Brand just waiting across the map. I think they were hoping that Obey would go for an ambitious push, but that's more your own guys' style. I think you're projecting a little bit, guys.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't want to play aggressive again because then they didn't want to become predictable. I mean, how slow do they want to get? Yeah, there's one pick.
Oh, Super Monkey has somehow snuck out of B main and just assassinated Ezire. Not that that really accomplishes much here for Obey Alliance, unless Swarns can somehow do the same thing. Because, yeah, you're immediately on to A. And Big Baller Brand, very good read of the map there. Taking full advantage of it. They knew Super Monkey would be heading all the way back around through B main, and Ezire's just going to wait, snap straight to his head, and it's not a very difficult second round.
Yeah, and that's really the way to start it off for this Big Baller Brand after that difficult map that they had in Icebox. Just, yeah, resetting that mentality, now being able to get those guns. They do have the Spectre still. And Obey Alliance, they do have the better gun power. I'm curious to see if they're able to get away with it this time, because Big Baller Brand, first playing fast and playing slow, we don't really know what they're going to bring next.
Whatever it is, seems like they will be playing slow once again. I like this from Sugar Free. He's baiting toward A with that the guiding light early, but the spike is toward him. He's going to join up with Big Baller Brand over in mid unless he gets some sort of crazy pick, and there's nobody near him. So yeah, now he's rotating over, and that's going to keep these two players from Obey Alliance there the entire time, because they don't know if somebody potentially crossed over into heaven. They're going to have to check that now, but look how much Big Baller Brand has gotten in the meantime. They're through B, or well, they're into B main. They've cleared out most of mid. It's taking quite a while though, so Obey are starting to think to themselves, are they actually coming to A? Not so convinced.
Yeah, you see the Rays also trying to check if there's anything there, and that is going to be the opening for Big Baller Brand to play more aggressive.
Nice flash there, and Swarns is caught. Super Monkey covering him though. Instinct couldn't do squat with that utility, setting him up. Super Monkey doing an excellent job thus far. It's going to be good for a second. Sugar Free in a rough spot, doesn't have a flash to get him out of danger. Ezire's going to have to try and come over. Oh my word, from heaven with the ghost finds two. That is insane, and Sugar Free locks it out. 3 in a row for Big Baller Brand.
They're able to also pick up the guns from Obey Alliance, who haven't been able to get a single round so far. And Big Baller Brand looking so much better in split. They are playing it slow. They're trying to get some information. They are confusing Obey Alliance. And then they're taking that opportunity to push when they know most of the members are going to be in a completely opposite side. Obey Alliance now forced into an eco round here. And yeah, they can win it, but Big Baller Brand, they're looking too good right now.
Yeah, I'm not giving Obey Alliance very good odds in this round. You're gonna use the wall early, but it just gets blown away. Trailblazer here. It goes up too, so it's gonna clear out Soba. Does it pin him down? Instinct's flying forward, just face checks him. And even good for, well, no, not quite good for a second, but Sugar Free covers him. That gets a blind. Sugar Free doesn't know that Black Moose is that close. And ultimately, that will get him one, but one is not nearly enough. That won't damage the economy, and it won't get you around.
They didn't even have to get to side. I mean, everyone was pushing them. Everyone got taken down as they were getting close to Big Baller Brand. And they're going to keep this momentum going for a lot more. Their economy is looking great for the next couple rounds, even if Obey Alliance is able to buy now. So it's just a matter of really figuring out this momentum. They've been doing it perfectly. They have a couple ultimates to use soon. So just evaluating what they want to prioritize. They want to prioritize getting those picks or even getting some intel before pushing into site.
Ooh, look at this aggressive play here. But Super Monkey's dead before he hits the ground. Sober at least grabs a couple, and Sujay makes his death worthwhile. Massive aggression in mid, and it pays off a little bit for Obey Alliance. But now they have to try and cover the whole map with just 3 defenders, and I mean, Ezire's gonna be able to get the res. There's very little question of that. Ooh, although, yeah, no, is definitely gonna be able to get the res. Black Moose going out, trades himself 1 for 1, so now it's a 2v2 overall. And I mean, there's still so much time remaining.
Yeah.
Swarns and Sujay, they're gonna split up. No, okay, good. When there's only 2 defenders left, I personally prefer to see a defending team playing together. It lets you trade well, and if the spike gets planted, you can at least go for the 2v2 retake. Better that than getting isolated and walking into a 1v2 gunfight.
Yeah, synergizing and retaking is definitely the best approach here for the setup of the Alliance. But look at Big Baller Brand. They tried to confuse them going into A. It just, the defense
30
trying to
seconds
figure
left.
out where they are. They have absolutely no idea, but might in a couple seconds.
Obey do seem to have bit, but I mean, it was going to be a retake on either site, regardless, right? This is just bring around the Rosie in a very large fashion,
Look at
10
them.
seconds
Oh
left.
no.
but the end result is still the same. Ooh, okay. Spike is
planted.
pulled out into the open there. So stopper at the ready. This is just to buy time. Ooh, you gotta be careful, Instinct. Well, she in a very cheeky spot here. Instinct's gonna join him too. I love this. Not letting the defenders split up.
Player standing.
Oh, and that was just the worst timing, Sujay. Not only did he go for the utility right as the smoke expired, but well, she was just waiting right there. Swarms just didn't check below him. No, and Instinct's waiting. So Big Baller Brand now 5-0.
A lot better now for Big Baller Brand. Again, I mean, look at that economy. They are doing so well, and for Bay Lions, it's just been buying and saving and buying and saving. Super Monkey does have that ultimate again, and that is going to give an opportunity to get a couple picks early on, but that hasn't really been the case before. It's still been Big Baller Brand opening, and even in this last round, when Obey Alliance got those picks, that rest was going to be available.
Satchel out.
Oh, well, Soba's flying forward. Shorty in hand. Look, nothing else matters. Soba's able to put Ray's diff in the chat now. That's the only thing that matters in that play. Yeah, 2 of Obey died. Yeah, they're not going to be able to hold on to the site. Yeah, they're probably going to lose the round. But Soba can now confidently say Ray's differential. In all seriousness, though, this is going to be a pretty difficult round for Obey Alliance. We're mostly out of blades here
Spike planted.
for Super Monkey. I think he's got 1 left. So, headshot or bust here for Super Monkey. At least they've cleared out a lobby some, but how do you ever get onto the site? Slow orbs, gravity wells, gun waiting for you. The knife doesn't hit the head. And there's just nothing Obey can do.
Yeah, it is. It's just that momentum that keeps going for the setup Big Baller Brand. And look, I don't want to say it, but I'm getting some flashbacks from yesterday. I'm getting some flashbacks from Big Baller Brand. And okay, OB Alliance is going to have a timeout. It's going to figure out what they can do because clearly it is not working. They try to save. They try to make a couple of changes, but they keep failing because of how aggressive Big Baller Brand is playing every single time. They're confusing them. They're not really giving them a lot of information. And it is working out so well.
It is so savage that you would bring up the fact that Big Baller Brand 13-0'd a team yesterday off a start like this. I'm sure all the Obey Alliance fans in the chat are sweating enough, Dryad. You don't have to make them worry about a complete closeout on the final map.
I mean, I don't want to say it, but it just...
Yeah, I've said it. I've jumped. I'm jumping. I know what you're going at. But I believe in Obey. They've got some critical ults coming into this round too. Rez,
Yeah.
so they can play aggressive off the showstopper that Soba's holding. And if they need something to cover them, a Cosmic Divide is available. Big Baller Brand, they aren't struggling by any means ultimate-wise themselves. So if Obey Alliance want to have a chance here, keep in mind, this is their defense of split. They have to find this round. This round.
Super Monkey also with the operator though, so that is something to take into account. Any opening, that is really what they're looking for, that confidence with that first opening.
Time to hunt.
Trailblazer's gonna clear out lobby.
You are
I
divided.
mean, Big Baller Brand can pretty easily get past this wall. They're gonna use the Cosmic Divide just so they can cover themselves going into heaven. This is risky though. A lot of utility can be chucked into that low choke point. And now, the op is just here covering on high. Showstopper's out, doesn't quite connect, but Super Monkey makes up for it. A lockdown now used very deep. Oh, the Cosmic Divide was just covering so the lockdown would hit the entirety of site. But with Sworn swinging out, he'll get not only Ezire, but he'll destroy the lockdown at that. Sworn's the only one left on the site as the rest of the team is trying to join him. He'll be eliminated and Big Baller Brand get onto the site. Planting here is going to be a little bit difficult, but they'll eventually make it happen. And with Sugar Free covering, we're left in a 3v3.
Go to concealment.
Oh, I want to see the reaction time here for Bay Lions trying to make anything happen with those Seekers.
Love
Coming
those
from Big Baller
speakers.
Brand.
Keeps Obey Alliance
Enemy remaining.
back far enough. And Big Baller Brand, it's just, they're unstoppable right now. It doesn't matter what you throw at them. They are ahead of the game. They know exactly what they want to do. And there's nothing you can put in their path to slow them down.
Obey Lions also were the ones opening that fight, but then they couldn't really commit to anything. Sugar Free able to get those kills, also being able to cover for their teammates while they were planting. And Big Baller Brand, they're just, they are playing so good. The Obey Alliance, even with the timeout, it seems like it was going to work out for a couple seconds, but then it fully failed.
Ooh, Ezire. Definitely biting off more than he can chew there. Instinct not going to make the same mistake. Does take most of his health bar and damage, though. And while there were 3 out mid, Sujay's still here holding down the B site. Between the Astra Stars and his gun waiting for them, Baller Brand don't really feel confident charging on out here. Spike's pretty far, too. Sugar Free is just inching around to their spawn right now, and Sujay swings out. Good for 1. 3 players spotted, though, so now Big Baller Brand, they have to reconsider. Do we actually want to commit toward B? We have a minute. Let's heal up and think about this.
Yeah, look at the 3 of them for the side of Obey Lions just looking, waiting for that rush push.
Super Monkey's in a good spot, but that smoke is going to get Welshie past. Oh, and into a perfect spot to take out Black Moose. Super Monkey has to be very careful now, and he swings right out into Welshie's waiting arms. Soba's just stuck here. There's nowhere for him to go. And Sugar Free takes him down. Swan's the last one left and only has a Spectre to his name. It's just going to be a classic setup here. The back sight, too, for Big Baller Brand. They're going to get this crossfire. There's really not much that Swarns can do here. Almost gets his head taken off by Welshie. At least he knows where the Astra is vaguely now, but I mean, you're not going to really save a Bulldog. You're down 7-0. You got to just go for it. Running out of time to do so. Recovered an actual Phantom, but this crossfire is impossible to defeat. Welshie with 4 in the round, and now Big Baller Brand, 8 on the board.
We talked a lot about those players with the operator and how good they are, but Welshie has come to be also very good with this weapon, getting a lot of kills, also getting 4 kills at the end in total. And Obey Lions once again having a lot of difficulty when Big Baller Brand, they are playing so well, they're timing everything right, even when they knew where they were, when they knew where they were coming from. Obey Lions, they still gonna react in time.
And Obey, I mean, they don't really have much left here. Super Monkey is gonna go for the classic sneak past the wall and pray that I could hide with a shorty, but I mean, I would be so shocked if Big Baller Brand pushed into mid and didn't check Super Monkey's position. Instinct ain't afraid. Got Sugar Free to back him up, and that's a 2v2 easily won. All right, well,
Player standing.
at least Obey Alliance are trying something. A low eco round, too. I mean, it's not like they have much to lose here.
Spike
I'm gonna go up to 9-0,
Flawless.
and in a flawless fashion.
I think we are getting into the point of the night where Big Baller Brand is like, you know what? I'm tired. I want to get this done with. And that is exactly what they're doing. 9-0. Big Baller Brand, absolutely insane first half. Almost about to be over with a almost perfect economy too. Being able to buy anything that they want. And Obey Alliance that just keep failing at full buying and staying alive.
I mean, if Obey want any semblance of a comeback to be relatively possible, they need every round. They need all the remaining rounds of the half. And it's not off to a good start. They've already lost their Astra. There goes the smokes. There goes the gravity wells. They no longer have omnipresence on the map. They're losing mid control too. Swarns is doing what he can to fight for it, putting snake bites and
Poison's off.
all the utility he can out into mid. The res does come through, but Welshy's still hanging around. Got Sugar Free with him. Can't quite hit the insane shot necessary, though. And Soba finally finds an advantage for Obey Alliance. The spike has been dropped. Big Baller Brand, they have to rush over and retrieve it. I don't know if they'll expect Soba to have pushed this far back behind them. He's in a great spot, and he'll clean up one. A second one, not too difficult. That makes 4 in the round. And finally, Obey are on the board.
Finally, 1 round for Obey Lions, able to keep their guns and also good positioning. When they saw the spike, they didn't waste a single second using that positioning. No one looking at them towards the end. But Big Baller Brand was still with a huge advantage nonetheless. And so they're able to just keep it. 14 kills for Welshy, who has been doing insane in the Cosmic Divide that is going to be available.
Yeah, so much available here for Big Baller Brand. Oh, look. They're waiting for it. Big Baller Brand have thought to themselves, well, they pushed out A once, and it worked. They might try to push out A again. And guess who's right? It's Welshy. Can't quite hit that shot. Does get the wall bang onto Soba. And that's just going to be the go button. Big Baller Brand, they know they have a slight advantage. Seekers coming out and spotting 2 on the site. And lets them know that the nearest player is all the way over in mid. Trailblazer clearing out Heaven, too. This could actually be a wraparound through mid. Look, the Trailblazer cleared out the bottom part of Vents.
You want to fight?
This is here. He's got a Vandal. Will be able to take down one.
Kill my allies.
And suddenly, Big Baller Brand are in a little bit of an awkward spot. They have to rush out into mid now, and Obey are already making the rotations to catch them over in B Heaven. Or A Heaven. Wherever Big Baller Brand decide to go now, they're going to be in trouble. Rocket straight to the face. Soba knew he was low anyways. No point in trying to stay alive off that one. Instinct will answer with a rocket of his own, though, and suddenly things are looking dire for Obey.
30
Oh, and
seconds
Super Monkey
left.
doesn't know there's one
Last
coming up on his
player
right.
standing.
Ezire finds him looking the wrong direction. Sujay left in a 1v2. Cosmic Divide. Gonna get him onto the site at least.
Pulling them in.
Spike planted.
Swinging through it, though, is gonna be so difficult. Is able to hear where the turret is. Swings on through. Zara couldn't quite see him around the corner. Sujay knows. There's an alarm bot that's going to spot him. And the second it does, Ezire not going to wait for that one to go sour.
3 more to
Last
go
round before the
for
switch.
Big Baller Brand. Looking great. Only 1 round given to the side of Obey Alliance. 1 ultimate only given also
1
for
second,
this
peeps.
next round
I
is
gotta
going to be
visit the Astro to play
Super
some
Monkey
stars.
using those blades, trying to get a couple kills, but we've seen the scenario before. It hasn't really worked out too well for this team. I mean, even before we go to the half, it's just looking so good for Big Baller Brand that is going to be almost an impossible task for Obey Alliance, but still
Pulling them in.
can still make something happen.
Baller brand leaning heavily towards A. They don't have the ultimates to carry them onto the site this time, though. Every other A execute, aside from the very first one in the pistol, they had Cosmic Divides, Lockdown, Seekers, something to get them space. This time they're going to have to just do it with the regular old utility. Instinct swinging on out. Satchel swing. UJ doesn't want to contest it. Koba has to keep his head on a swivel, too. He doesn't know if he should help Sujay over with Heaven or if he should be looking main for someone to swing up. Sugar Free finds him looking the wrong way. And while Black Moose is covering, keeping them out of Heaven, players are falling more for Obey than anyone else. Big Monkey swinging out into Sugar Free. At least sets up Black Moose to trade that back. 3v3 now. Oh, but look at Izire. Look at Izire. Oh, my.
Ooh.
There's no way that Obey Alliance expect Izire to be here. And his Big Baller brand book it across the map back to B.
30 seconds left.
Ooh, they're actually going to double blind this. Double fake it. Welshi? I don't think he has any idea that Black Moose is going to be this far forward.
One enemy remaining.
It doesn't matter, though, because Izire just has it. The spike's going to get dropped, though.
Spike
Only
down
15
A.
seconds. All Black Moose has to do is play for time.
10 seconds left.
Instinct's chasing him down, though. Yeah, there's just nothing he can do. Black Moose just has to hide. He's won the round.
Oh,
You should run.
almost get it. Just in time, but that is the clutch
What?
happening.
Izire?
Switching sides.
We're switching sides. That's why I used the lockdown. Just having a
Yeah,
bit of
Obey
fun.
Alliance. Only 2 rounds still. 3 more to go still for the sort of Big Baller brand. Unless this is a complete change, which is something that we also wanted to see on Icebox and didn't happen unless there's a complete change. Obey Alliance not really looking like they're going to come up on top. They had a timeout, they had some time to talk about it, but even then they're having a lot of difficulty. That last victory, that last round was just about the timing, not about the kills.
Difficult road now to walk for Obey Alliance. I will say, their composition does lean itself to an attacking side, right? With both the Jet and the Raze, they've got the double dive. They can hard enter onto sites. A Viper wall is a great wide bit of vision denial too. Look at this. The threat of just these two is enough to pull so many players from Big Baller brand over. And it's just free. It's free on B. Sujay's ran up mid and traded himself out 1-for-1. And Super Monkey's still just wasting their time. You can't quite get it onto Izire, but at least the spike will get planted.
Yeah, but now you're going to play on a retake where Big Baller brand, they do have the number advantage. It's just about figuring out the positioning for Obey Alliance.
Or it's out too. That means that Big Baller brand don't really have to worry about watching B main. Backside, however, rather their own spawn. Still very much a difficulty. Black Moose not going to be good for another, though, and with only 56 health on Sworns, Instinct's just going to put him straight into the ground. Another pistol win for Big Baller brand. Just need 2 more rounds to walk away with the championship.
So close for Big Baller brand to make this happen, but there's 2 more rounds to go in Obey Alliance. I mean, they're going to be forcing here. They're going to be getting those Spectres, really knowing that this is their last opportunity. They're going to have absolutely no money remaining, but they have to do it. They know the stakes. They know if Big Baller brand wins this, it is going to be match point. So it is a necessary decision that they have to make when Big Baller brand is playing so well here on Split.
A tough call either way. Big Baller brand, they're not wasting any time here. Obey rather, aren't wasting any time. They're getting as much utility as they can out of Big Baller brand toward B. Now they're aware Welshi might be pushing them up mid. But Obey, they've just lost so much of the map here. They're trying to bait out, but look, I mean, Izire has early intel over at A. Welshi has early intel up toward mid. Sugar Free's pushing this. That's ambitious, buddy, but it's gonna work out for at least one. Instinct's not gonna push his luck. Gets on out of there after spotting 3. And now they just wait. Here comes the execute. Instinct jumping on out. Doesn't want anything to do with that. Renz is isolated, but Instinct swings out with him, and Renz can get 3 off the back of it. A headshot 2 on a Swarns. He had a little bit of armor, so Swarns is still standing, but only 20 health for all the hopes of Obey Alliance. And you have to fight 2 Spectres. I mean, it's just not possible, right? Surely it cannot be done.
Screen down.
One more player to take down. Having to avoid the turret. That gives away his position here. Swarns has to find the swing at just the right time, but Izire crosses all the way over. The spike has to be planted. Swarns is pinned down. Izire knows exactly where he is, and he'll jump on over, not wasting any time, not taking a true gunfight. Playing smarter rather than harder. And that is match and match point. Or map and match point.
Big Baller Brand, they are so close. 1 more to go with everything they could need. It was only 1 member remaining for that, so they lost a lot of those guns. But, I mean, when you have the confidence, any gun could be working out for this team. They've been doing it over and over again. We see kills like we saw with the Classic and a couple others that they don't make a lot of sense, but they make it work. Obey Alliance in a pretty much impossible situation now when Big Baller Brand, this could be their last round.
I mean, the silver lining for Obey here is that 4 people died on Big Baller Brand, so they don't have the greatest economy either. Oba's going to start off with a pick 2, and this time Obey are just sending it. They're going straight in for all these fights. Sugar Free's going to win that one, though. Just hopping up and down on the rope. Instinct not having too good of a time. It's just a bloodbath by this vent. But Obey, they're going to walk out victorious.
A little too confident there, Big Baller Brand. 1 more to go. And I know you can play crazy, but also being careful on where Obey Alliance is and where you are on the map. Big Baller Brand now in a safe round. And a little bit of those better guns coming through for this Obey Alliance. Big Baller Brand not really worried about it yet, but they absolutely want to get this over with.
Always got to be careful of Big Baller Brand, though.
Gun here.
Renz doesn't have a Sheriff, though. Izire's good with the Sheriff, don't get me wrong, but Renz with the Sheriff has just been a monster today. Izire's just gonna have to head for the hills there, too. Ren's not trading very well in mid. Well, she gets 1 off a cheeky shorty play, but Obey Alliance, they look like they're gonna keep what little momentum they have. The problem is that that little bit of momentum just has to carry them so far, Dryad.
Yeah, especially because this is a save coming for Big Baller Brand. So even if they don't win this, they know that the next one would be a little bit better for them on that gun power. Yeah, just
Still
getting taken down.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, there's still 8 rounds to go here for Obey Alliance.
Yeah.
Now we'll have the first true gun round. And this gets to a difficult position because when you're this far down, it's not enough to bonus round your economy. These Bulldogs, these Spectres, they can come back to bite you if you're not careful. So Obey have to buy up. They have to invest a lot of their economy into this round.
And Sugar for you, there's one thing though. Sugar Free has the Seekers to use, and that always gives a lot of information for the team. So that is, I mean, besides the guns, besides anything, getting that information is going to be key for Big Baller Brand to make this round their last.
Ooh. Soba's got to be careful. Instinct's got a far better gun for that range. Instinct just waiting, though. The second that he hears someone trying to break that wall, paint shell can come out. And with how many Obey players are stacked there, that can be brutal. It's a wall up and over. Instinct gonna take advantage. There go the paint shells down into the lines of Obey. A little bit late, but Soba's taken out with the showstopper in hand. Only 2 players now remain for Obey Alliance. Instinct's trying to hunt them down with the rocket launcher, the showstopper on shoulder. It's a crossfire to end all crossfires, and now it's over in before it even started. Paint shell flushes Black Moose out, and Big Baller Brand are victorious. They will walk home with a statement win on Split, and they will be your champions of the Valorant Champions Division.
Yeah, Big Baller Brand, an amazing team, absolutely deserved victory here at the grand finals for the tournament, and an absolutely insane performance. I mean, from yesterday to going 13-0 with one team to today, the 13-4, always showing their best performance, always getting those kills, making those changes when they needed to, and there was also no other team to really face them at the grand finals. And Obey Alliance really put up a fight, especially on Icebox.
Yeah, and gotta commend Big Baller Brand. They shook off the loss on Icebox, right? It wasn't a very close loss either, 13-6. Those can be difficult to come back from. You know, if you lose 13-10, it's like, oh, okay, we're still in this, right? But 13-6, the little seed works its way into your brain. Is this just a huge skill diff? Are we just playing the game wrong compared to these guys? But Big Baller Brand, they're not worried about that, man. This is Sugar-Free, Ezire, Instinct, Renz. We're talking about some very confident players. And you gotta love it when confidence shines through. I always love to see Sugar-Free and Ezire succeed. I've missed those boys back in Overwatch. I love seeing them succeed in Valorant. Congratulations to Big Baller Brand.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is something that it seems like we talked about it from the beginning. The minute that we saw these teams, we talked about Sugar-Free, amazing player, insane player every single time. Even in times where they look risky, they were able to come with this grand finals. And a lot of also really good teams, 303, and just like we had Obey Alliance, we had Ancient, so many good teams going against each other. But it was really the better adaptation coming from Big Baller Brand.
And thank you so much to all of the teams that played through this weekend. All 20 of you, making for, do some math, 100 players that showed up to the NorQuest Esports Series Valorant Champions Division. We couldn't do this without you guys showing up and fighting for the $5,000 prize pool here. And thank you, of course, to all of our amazing sponsors for footing the bill, being able to, or bringing this tournament to us, right? We couldn't do it without them either. I'm just going to go down the list. Explore Edmonton, Pepsi, Memory Express, Alberta Innovates, ESIO, ATB, Calgary Economic Development, and of course, the name on the tournament, NorQuest College themselves. Thank you to all of you for allowing us to bring such amazing Valorant to these fine folks at home. Thank you all for watching. That's going to be it here, folks. Make sure you go follow all the teams, all the players, and NorQuest in the Game Stadium over on Twitter. We'll see you next time for more Valorant action.
Bye.